Hello people, how is everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's your man Resh back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the topic, how are you? Well, actually, how to respond to how are you. A lot of people tend to reply with I'm fine, and you? Because that's what we learn in school, right? That's what a lot of people are being taught. Especially in Turkey, people just say I'm fine, and you. So we just kind of want to change this. I'm not saying that it's incorrect to reply like that, but it's just too basic and we want to be a little bit more distinguished, don't we? So I'm going to give you guys a lot of example sentences today that you can use to reply to how are you in a more distinguished way. And I'm going to be doing that with the help of an Engoo tutor. You guys might have heard of Engoo before because we kind of collaborated multiple times already. Engoo is basically an online platform where you can practice your English with tutors. You have both native and non-native tutors that you can pick and actually practice English in a very efficient way by using materials on their website. And now you guys know I always have some coupons for you, but today's coupon is insane because for the 8 lesson per month plan, I have a 40% coupon for you guys. All you gotta do is create an account on engoo.com and use this coupon right here and get your 40% discount. No worries, I'm putting all the details on how to use the coupon in the description box below, both in English and Turkish, so that you guys can use them. And now I'm gonna be talking to an Australian tutor, which I'm really excited about because not only are we gonna see how to reply to how are you in various ways, but also we're going to be listening to the Australian accent. I haven't talked to an Australian person in years, so that's going to be a lot of fun. If you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's talk to our tutor.
Hello, my name is Claire. What is your name?
Hi Claire, my name's Resh.
Nice to meet you, Resh. How are you today?
Hey, nice to meet you too. I'm super great. I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, really well, thank you. Thanks for asking.
That was a good start because this is going to be a video on how to respond to how are you. A lot of people might realize that you have a different accent than I have. Where are you from? Tell me.
Yeah, sure. So I actually come from Melbourne in Australia. I've been actually living in Croatia for the past 2 years, and before that, England. But yes, my hometown is Melbourne in Australia, so that's the accent.
By the way, I love your hair.
Oh, thank you very much.
Our main question today is how to respond to how are you without saying I'm fine. Looking for another way though. We're gonna come up with some ideas, but maybe you can also add some Australian slang, you know, how people over in Australia will respond to that. Like, what do we have? Like, if I asked you, how are you today? You would most probably say, I'm fine.
Well, my dad actually really instilled proper grammar for me. So we would always say, I'm very well, thank you. So that was a very polite way of saying or answering, how are you? I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
That's very polite. That's very polite.
Yes.
I feel honored to be asked. I wouldn't know how to respond to that because it sounds so distinguished.
Yes, it is very distinguished. But yeah, it's really interesting that you bring up that question because often I think people in Australia, they automatically respond with, I'm good, thanks, how are you? Without really answering honestly, you know, without really saying, do you know what, I'm actually feeling really tired or, you know, I'm feeling quite caught up with work or whatever. Often the response is to say, good, thanks, how are you? Even
in Turkey, like, we don't really respond to that question. We just say, it's more like a hi. That's what it is. How are you? I'm fine. How about you? Thanks. I'm fine too. What about the other moods of the day? If we were honest, what could we say instead of I'm fine? Like, I could say, I'm okay. I'm okay. Like, that'd be like, okay, it's nothing bad happened, but nothing good happened either. So I feel like pretty average. I'm average. Mediocre.
Yeah, we probably say not bad. I'm not feeling bad. How are you? Yeah.
But let's say if you'd be talking to a friend in a more sincere way. I'm not really feeling that well today.
I'd probably say I'm not feeling that great, to be honest. And maybe I'd probably ask permission. You know, can I talk to you about what's happening? Just to kind of preempt them that maybe I've got a lot to say.
If you were to feel like really, really, really bad, like if you had like a really bad day, you just wanna, you know, scream and shout. You're like, I feel like shit, man.
Yeah.
Would you say that? Like,
I'd probably say that.
Yeah.
I'd probably say that. Or it's been a rough day. It's been a rough day for me today. So I'm
Okay.
not great.
That's a good
Yes.
one. We might want to use that, guys. Like, it's been a rough day because we all have a stressful life, especially in
Yeah.
terms of the pandemic. I'm looking forward to the end of the pandemic. That's how you reply to how are you? That's like an option.
It's like I'm looking forward to the end of the pandemic.
Yeah. Have you
Yeah.
been vaccinated though?
Yes. Now I'm fully vaccinated as of yesterday. So
Okay.
that's exciting.
That's great. That's great. We want to encourage people out there to get vaccinated. Is there something in particular that you might want to say? We guys in Australia usually respond like that because we all know this one. Good day, mate.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Well, we say g'day, mate, and then how you're going. It's not how are you. It's how you're going. We like to shorten everything.
All right. And how will you respond to that?
Yeah, good. Thanks. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of something that's like a typical Aussie. Feeling stellar.
Stella. What
Maybe we
is
said
that?
that.
Is that even a word? Ah, okay, stellar. All right.
Oh,
Like
tip.
amazing. All right. All right. Get that. That's cool. I'm going to use that from now on.
Go for it.
I-
True Aussie now.
You know, once I heard someone say from Australia, I think it was in a TV show, someone said, oh, he was built like a shit house.
Well, I'd actually say that that's probably quite bad. Like if you're, I don't know, if you're feeling really bad, you would say, I'm feeling shithouse. But I mean, now
Sounds
that you
like a-
ask, I don't really know what that means. Because,
Sounds like a place I would take a dump in.
yeah. No, maybe it's more kind of, describing something that's like, I don't know, just a complete wreck. A house that's just like filled with too much junk or whatever. That's
But,
probably what I would just think about.
but the
shit
thing is,
house.
I couldn't even distinguish if it was meant to be like a positive thing or a negative thing. Like most of the time, even if you don't know a word, you get the meaning, right? You feel like,
Yes.
okay, that's something good or something bad, but I couldn't tell. I was like, that's weird. That's a weird
Yes.
thing to say.
No,
Oh,
that's definitely a negative feeling.
You know what I also heard, which is a little bit off topic. I've heard so many Australians, you said you guys like to shorten words. You have like words, let's say, what do you call a gas station in Australia?
A servo.
Yeah, a servo. Is it like the proper word or is it like an abbreviation?
So we'd call it a service station, but yes, we shorten it to servo. We don't say gas station. I think that's American. We say
Okay.
service station, but yeah, of course, we shorten it to servo.
Also, I've heard, I don't know how to pronounce it, like I'd say bottle but I've heard bottolo.
Oh yeah, bottle-o.
What is
How good
that?
is that? Bottle-o. I don't even pronounce the T. Bottle-o.
Bottolo.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where you get your alcohol. Yeah,
That's
bottle-o.
so cool.
Isn't
Like,
it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this video should have been about the Australian accent.
Instead of saying afternoon, we say arvo.
No way. Like you take any word that's too long and then you put an O at the end and then just
Pretty much. Just add an O and you'll sound Australian, whatever the word is. So yeah, arvo. What are you doing this arvo?
I don't know what I'm gonna be doing this Avo, but I know what I'm gonna be doing this Eveno.
Yeah, that one actually, don't know what we'd say for that. Yeah, arvo. That's a very common one. People in Australia love avo on toast.
What?
Do you know what avo is? Avocado.
Oh wow, okay. I was still thinking about afternoon.
Yeah, it's quite
I'm
close.
like
isn't it?
afternoon on a toast. That sounds weird.
Yes.
I like that there's like diversity in a language.
Yes, and that's what I found amazing when I lived in England, because even though we're speaking the exact same language, there are a lot of differences.
How long have you been living in England?
So I lived there for 2 years before coming here to Croatia.
Okay, what part of it?
In England, I was living, South London for 1 year and then like South England for another year.
Okay, what was the main thing that you thought was different between the Australian and the British English?
It's all about tone and pronunciation, of course. As an Australian, I round the sound of my vowels quite dramatically. But the other thing is, as an Australian, whenever we speak, at the end of our sentence, our tone goes up. I'm not feeling great today, actually. You notice at the end of the sentence, my voice goes up. So yeah, that's quite classic to the Australian accent.
I'm not even saying it for the video. I really find that interesting. Like,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is like, language is just my passion, and especially the English language is just, have so much diversity within the language itself. Countries are different, the cultures are different.
Yes.
The way you abbreviate words, it's probably the most normal thing in Australia, but to me, it just sounds fascinating. It sounds like a made up thing. It sounds, I don't know. And I think it's great. One thing that I also would want to include is we've seen a couple of things that we can say, you know, I feel fine, I feel good, I'm great. I've also heard people say can't be asked.
Can't be asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, just you can't be bothered.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and a response to that, oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
What's going on for you? Sounds like a rough time.
How could we politely ask back? I can say, how about you? How are
Yes.
you today?
Yes.
What else can I say? What else could I say to ask the person who has asked me first?
What have you been up to today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, often we're interested in what's been happening for that person that day. So yeah, what's been going on for you today, or how's your week been? Instead of how are you? I mean, we always ask how are you. That's just the natural kind of introduction.
Yeah.
And then, yes, we probably follow on with what have you been up to, or how's your family, how's work? Oh, always we ask about work.
Like, how would you respond to how's work?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Or, yeah, it's going well. Yeah, something quite short, you know, going well, or, yeah, it's been a long one. A long one meaning like a long week. Yeah.
Do you guys also say, like if I asked you, like, how are you, would you say, like, same old, same old?
Oh, yeah, of course. Same old, same old.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a bit kind of old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something that my parents would say, but
So
yeah, I mean, it's still appropriate.
So do you call your parents old-fashioned? What if they watch this video?
Oh, yeah. They don't even know what YouTube is, so
Sorry, Mom and Dad. We're sorry.
no, but they'll be really impressed when I mentioned, you know, my dad's grammar and saying very well, thank you, because that's proper grammar. They'll be impressed with that if they do watch it.
It's so cool. Claire, I think we have a lot of things that we talked about, and I think that'll be it. And I don't want to take away too much of your time. I appreciate you. I want to really thank you that you helped me out with this. And again, I love your hair plus your accent. You have great energy. Thanks for coming over.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. I really enjoyed speaking with you today. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, that was a very interesting lesson. I think Claire has just an amazing vibe. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and I hope to see you guys in one of my upcoming videos. Till then, take care.